What'd you find?
This is the best grocery store in the island. Good beer, good liquor.
Woohoo! Shopping in St. Maarten for our provisioning when we bring inBalance up to Fort Lauderdale.
So here's the liquor, beer, wine section of the grocery store. And what makes this our new favorite grocery store to go shopping in Simpson Bay is, ta-da! There we go.
Okay, so we just finished provisioning a ton, $900 in groceries.
Yeah. And it's not all beer and booze.
But there's
Actually, a small fraction of it is. Not very much.
We bought a lot of chips.
yeah.
A lot of chips and
yeah.
some
Joe likes
chocolate.
chips. A lot of meats. Joe likes
a
meats.
lot of meat.
And then Doug says, I'm not a big meat eater. We're like, okay, well, there's more lunches for us. Maybe it'll make that easier. But yeah, so it was good going to the grocery store. It's very well stocked here in Simpson Bay.
And then Captain Joe and Doug, the new owner of inBalance, they just headed out with how many jerry cans?
12, 20 liter, which is roughly 5 gallons, empty fuel cans because it's Sunday and the fuel dock was closed. We're gonna go get those filled up, which rough math, I mean, that's easily, 60 gallons times whatever math. And so it's pushing like 500 pounds, 450 pounds of fuel, diesel.
Yeah. So we are missing the final party of the rally for this. But
yeah,
that's okay.
That's okay. Doug wants to get going. He's got a hard stop later this month to finish all his paperwork. And then Joe mentioned that there's a weather system that might push through, which may cause us to kind of divert over to the Turks and Caicos.
Yeah,
night.
And I can't say stopping in Turks and Caicos will exactly be a rough life, so I'm kind of actually looking forward to it. I've never been there.
Yeah. The last couple of days on Catalyst, we had the opportunity to do pretty much a sail every day, good 3 hours, 15 miles or so.
Yep.
As part of the rally.
Well, it's been great for us on this trip because, we mostly have done a jib and a main, so we've got to practice a lot with an asymmetrical sail, and with the screecher.
One of the things that Catalyst had
you can see Catalyst. See Catalyst right there?
Boop. Catalyst had an electric furler up on the longeron, which made deploying the screecher so much easier, and I think it's an option we're going to strongly consider. But then he can easily switch out and put his asymmetrical spinnaker up there as well. Yeah. So he's not dicking around with a chute and all that kind of stuff. It's just so much easier.
Yeah, the thing with the sock pulling down an asymmetrical, it's all great when it works perfectly, but it's so easy to not have it work perfectly.
The Old Bahama Channel is nice to go through. There's lots of space, but the shipping is wild through here.
Yeah.
Lots of cruise ships, lots of tankers, all
sure makes sense.
Like 20 mile
area.
little spots.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's about 3:30 in the morning on my first shift of our passage from St. Maarten to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It is a beautiful night out, full moon. We're making great progress. We've decided to go wing on wing, primarily because the wind is pretty much right at our tail, so we're coming right up at 180. The wind has been a little bit shifty, but it's been consistent at 15-20 knots. But more so, what's making it very wobbly and a challenge at times is just the swells, because they'll come in at different angles and just kind of toss you around a little bit. All right, we're gonna go check out the electronics compartment, which is just located underneath the back bench here, as well as behind the nav station that you see right here. Access is underneath here, is a nice little panel, so let's go check it out. All right, so the first thing you see here, those are your batteries. And then up along the wall, you can see all of your solar components, whether it's your MPTs for the panels themselves. Way back there, you can see the air conditioner. And if you look up, you can see the Iridium Go, the Pep Wave. And then along this wall up here, you've got your Victron inverter. And then Garmin's suite is kind of all up along this wall right here. But yeah, so this is where the predominant bulk of your electronics are.
We are stopping in Red Hook, St. Thomas, to get fuel right over there. All right, we're looking for an Iridium Go battery at the marine store here at St. Thomas. Fingers crossed. All right, so no luck on the Iridium Go battery, and the electronics store is too far to walk, so I think we're gonna go buy ice cream and just say fuck it. So we see our boat on the other side of the security gate. We have ice cream melting rapidly in this heat, and we can't get back in. So now we're like, hello, don't leave us. We've grabbed a quick mooring. We're having an issue with our Iridium Go battery, or something with the Iridium Go. I had no luck at St. Thomas getting it fixed. So we're gonna drop our mooring and continue on with a 7-day weather window and hope that we have what we need.
So on this, on the inBalance, they've got a couple different camera systems mounted. Here you can see the starboard engine, an anchor one that was phenomenal because it really kind of helps alleviate having to yell, scream. And you could do the marriage savers. You've got your masthead, so you can see how pretty your sail is. The spreader, you can see a little bit back, and then you have your port engine. Very nice feature.
So I'm just about to go and watch, and the weather is really picked up. I've been trying to sleep before my shift, but it's been difficult with all the rocking and rolling from the weather, and honestly I'm scared, and I'm not sure this lifestyle is for me. I don't know. I love the idea of sailing the world, and I love, of course, nice days of sailing. I've even managed to not get actually sick on this trip thanks to Studeron, overseas medication. But I don't know, I don't think I like all this. I'm just really questioning my decision to sail the world, and I don't know what to do.
So how's the crossing from Cape Town to Caribbean?
It's already fun crossing to do. You know, if you jumped in a bathtub in Cape Town, you'll somehow land up in the Caribbean anyway. So
Yeah.
you'll get there, no two ways about it. But you know, there's consistent winds.
Yeah.
There's lots of time to chill, and usually it doesn't get too rough. I mean, it's all following seas, so it's super comfortable. Depending if you stop in St. Helena or not, most of the time I prefer just to skip St. Helena, but it is a nice place to see. But definitely recommend Fernando de Noronha. Beautiful little island, just off the coast of Brazil. But from there, it's already, so it's broad reach pretty much down to Brazil. And once you start heading up the Brazilian coast past the Amazon River, got really nice beam winds, and you just scream up the coast straight to Quebec. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, sail setup. I've flown my ASIM for 20 days straight to get across. It's just been that consistent. And then screecher up the Brazilian coast so you get to the Caribbean. Right, so what we've done now, you know, we've got the boat surfing quite fast and it's trying to round us up into the wind. So what we've done now, we've taken 2 mooring lines, tied knots in the mooring lines, and we've just hung it off the leeward stern. So in effect, that should stop the boat from pulling up the whole time, and it'll create that extra amount of drag on the leeward side to kind of keep it straight. Slow us down a little bit, but you know, I'd rather go slow and safe. And you can already feel now, like, it feels a bit more stable in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, we
What's
should have done that a little while ago. We were really surfing.
What some people do, which is a bit of an extremity, is they actually take a fender and they put the fender at the end of the line.
Oh.
And you'll find the fender will dip down into the water on the surf, and that will just create that extra amount of drag to make you rounding up.
Yeah. And you use 2 dock lines total?
Yeah, so there were 6-meter dock lines, so 12-meter total, one cut halyard knots at the end.
Yeah.
And then,
And you had a couple of random knots as well.
yeah, just granny knots along the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put out more lines the more intense it gets, but you know, at this pace we're doing pretty good.
How many miles did we get today?
205.
Woo!
All right, there you go, Joe. Tonight's dinner, courtesy of Doug. We got some chicken and rice. Good stuff.
Very good. Thanks, Doug.
So we have had one exciting evening. Shortly after dinner, Joe came back up and said, we got good news, bad news. Good news was that the autopilot was still working. However, the bad news was that the Dyneema line that controls the steering on the starboard side had chafed through. So we spent the next hour or so rewiring the line and making sure everything was tensioned right. So of course everything has to happen when it's dark. So exciting times on the boat. So according to Chapman's, a line or a rope that has a frayed end is fagged. So our steering cable is fagged.
And what kind of knot is that?
This is just a bunch of half hitches.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a bunch of half inches.
Yeah, it's been hitched for sure.
Do we have to cut the eyelet off to pull it connected to pull it through, or is there room to pull it through?
Yeah, we'll cut it off. So when I refer to the purchase and the purchase system, it's when you take the line and you do wraps, it gives you that leverage to tension something. So I basically loosened up on this purchase system, so it gave me enough slack to put it back on the quadrant in the engine room. And then once it was on the quadrant and we were holding it on in the pulleys, I came back here, I tensioned it, just at a bunch of half hitches.
Okay.
And we could see from the engine room, like now.
We woke up the other morning and our port water tank was completely empty, so we had to figure out what the problem was. Then in the process we learned a couple things as well with how the water maker works, how to clean the sea strainer, just how to get around those different parts of the boat. Fortunately it didn't last too long because I don't think we ever figured out what the problem was, but we did get the water tank filled back up.
High pressure in, so one of the big metal things is high pressure in, the other one's pressure out, and then off at this end you see it.
So how often do you flush a water maker?
Every time after you make water, you want to flush it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So product test, we turn the flush valve
To flush?
up to flush, and then turn the yellow valve to off, and then just run the pumps intermittently. Like a minute or so each, turn off,
Okay.
flush valve down, turn this back to run. Important to not leave this on flush, because if you leave this open,
Uh-huh.
all your fresh water is just gonna run out.
Okay.
Where is the sea strainer?
So this is the Seacock. It says water maker sea stream.
You see it?
Yeah.
You see anything?
Well, it looks okay.
Okay. You think that's causing our water problem?
No, but I
Darn
figured
it.
since I was there, we might as well do this.
Well, it's our final day on inBalance, and I'm on watch. It's midnight to 3 a.m., just about over, so that's kind of nice. The coast of Miami is off to my right there, and it just started raining while I was sitting at the helm, and so pulled the Versa helm over and the slider over, and snug as a bug here in the galley. Anyway, what an amazing experience we've had on inBalance and learning our future boat, which is only a few short months away to becoming a reality, which is so amazing. Anyway, just wanted to check in.
We have ourselves a visitor. Taking a break. What are we like 5 miles down now? 7 miles down? 5 miles. Yeah. Hey, stop filming us! We're filming you!
Beautiful boat! All right, we are nestled in here at Fort Lauderdale. Captain Joe did an amazing job getting her snug as a bug. The resident dog. Hi, baby. Yeah. Oh, so cute. How are you? Yeah, so I smell yummy. It was pretty tricky coming in through there between those two boats, especially with that thing sticking out over here. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it's great having a crew for. Doug and Captain Joe are not aboard, and we bought a bottle of Southern Comfort, our favorite. Our goal is to leave surprise bottles in everybody's boat, so we're going to denote this bottle as left by us. inBalance. You've been GTFO'd.
So, top, spray the mask, spray all the functional areas for the cars and things.
So which brush?
White for non-skid.
White
like
for
a much
non-skid.
harder brush, and then
Yeah.
the soft yellow brush for all the
Soft
glossy
brush.
areas.
Okay.
And you'll just move it.
Good work, woman.
you block yourself in with cushions. Woohoo! We are totally addicted to this machine.
You're addicted. What is that machine?
An espresso machine. And you put the water in the back and the little pod here, and the milk here, and there you go.
Water in the back, coffee in the front,
Coffee up here.
party in the bottom.
So pretty slick app, CBP, Rome, and we were able to put our information in there, the boat information, and then they called up and we did a virtual hey, and then we're checked in.
To the good old USFA.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna get our tickets booked, and then we'll head to the airport and go home.
Bye.
We're locked in.
That's good.
Yeah, hit the pause or stop.